Unit 11, Algebraic Models. Here are the objectives for this unit. You'll be looking at data and creating equations based on given data. This should be about a 3-day thing. The topics are sample sizes, correlations, and cause and effect, regressions, and then selecting the best model. Here's your warm-up stamp boxes. Alright, let's look at this page. A note on finding socially acceptable sample sizes. Confidence levels may vary from 95% to 99.999%, depending on how easy it is to get participants and funding. Margin of error, P, can also vary from 1% to 5%, and even sometimes 10%. This formula has fixed amounts of 95% confidence and 5% margin of error, this formula right here, for finding a decent sample size, where lowercase n is the sample size, capital N is the population you're dealing with, E is the acceptable sampling error. This means if you had 116 million Americans that had high blood pressure, for 5% acceptable sampling error, at least 400 people need to be sampled. Some studies have as little as 100 people. If gay participants or funding is difficult for a particular study, that may be acceptable in some cases. And usually, as long as it's at least 10,000, or if it's 10,000 people, that's the most that you'll need for most of these kinds of studies. Determine if the sample size is appropriate for each given population. Then state the smallest acceptable sample size for the specified population based on the formula above. So if we have a population of 330 million and a sample is 100, is this appropriate? Let's go ahead and plug them into the formula. On the rubric page on Canvas, there's a link that takes you to that Desmos page. Right here, Desmos Sample Size Calculator. So, our N is our population, that's 330 million. And then our error would be 5%. The number would be 400. So at 5% sampling error, this would not be appropriate. And the smallest sample size would be 400. Let's look at number 4. Population 150, sample 30. Is this appropriate? Let's go back to our Desmos calculator. And it has 109. So for this one, our smallest number we would want it to be a 109. Okay, do the other two. What do you get?